See, okay, there's a lot of buildings being arisen. So this is also one of the major factor for air pollution crisis. So kindly stay tuned with us for the episode 2 of Ramarajya, that is air pollution crisis. Hello, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the Ramarajya series. So as we told before, we would be discussing regarding the air pollution crisis. So welcome to the episode 2 of Ramarajya, that is air pollution crisis. As Seetha was traveling to her office, so she witnesses that a lot of people are wearing masks, especially children and the elderly people and everyone. And she asked her driver, "What is this? Why people are wearing masks? What is the reason behind this one?" Then she comes to know through her driver that people are suffering due to air pollution. This is the increasing air pollution is causing effect for them. Seetha thinks about this one and she decides that they have to take some action on this one. So she immediately reaches her office and summons Sanjay. And Sanjay comes to office. Sanjay questions her, "Madam, what has happened? Why did you call me?" Then Seetha tell him, "Sanjay, I witnessed today. I was coming in the way to the office. People are wearing masks and they're suffering due to this air pollution. May I know what is this reason? Why is this happening?" Then Sanjay answers, "Madam, the main reason for this air pollution is due to the increasing vehicle. There are millions of vehicles being registered every day in our city. So Delhi is a national capital territory. Due to this, every year the number of vehicles are increasing. This is one of the cause. And other one is the crackers which are being bursted during the Diwali timings. So this is also one of the reason. And other one is stubble burning. What happens during the harvest of winter? The farmers burn their stubble, whatever the leftover crops which would be there. So instead of cutting it out, so to save the money, they do this method. This is also one of the factors." Then Seetha thinks over it. "Sanjay, we have to do something on this one. Then arrange immediately meeting with all the department officials who is responsible, even the concerned ministry. So I want to speak regarding this with them. And let us try to find this solution as soon as possible. I want to sort this matter by today itself." Later, Sanjay arranges a meeting with all the ministers and all are being waiting for Seetha in the hall. And Seetha arrives to the meeting hall and she asks, "Good morning to everyone present here. I hope all of them are aware of the situation in the Delhi what is present right now. The air pollution which has been increasing day by day and has been worsening. So Mr. Dikshit, you're the Central Pollution Control Board chairperson. May I know what is the reason? Why is this happening? Isn't your responsibility to look after this one for have a check on pollution?" Then the Central Pollution Control Board chairperson answers, "Madam, I know the pollution has been increasing. The major reason behind this one is due to the increasing vehicles. Before, people used to use public transportation, but nowadays due to the increase of own vehicles, people are using their own cars. This is also one of the major factors. And also nearly millions of vehicles are being registered in the National Capital Territory, and most of the vehicles, a few of them are very old and they haven't been maintained proper. So due to all these reasons, what can be done for this one? Why isn't any action taken place on this one?" "Madam, we have been running campaigns on this one. We have been trying to create awareness among the people, but it is not appropriate. It hasn't been much more effective. There is something has to be done. Can anybody sitting out here can please give suggestions on this one?" So Mr. Dikshit is telling that vehicles are being responsible. So what is your opinion, all of them? "Yes, Madam, everything is being contributed. Not only this one, there's other factors also. The stubble burning. Before, during the period of 1990s, stubble burning wasn't there. People used to use manually to cut the crops. But nowadays, due to the increase of modern technology, all are using machines. So in machines, what happens? Once the harvest is being done, the crops are being cut over. So, but after cutting the crops also, the 2 feet of the stalk is still remained out there itself. By this one, what happens? Since the farmers do not have so much of money to spend, so they just go burn the vast land. So by this, what happens? The pollution level increases. The smoke which is coming from the neighbor states, it enters out here, especially from Punjab and Haryana. This is also one of the major reasons. Okay. Then Seetha answers, "Then why are we silent? Why haven't we taken any actions?" Well, madam, we are trying to take actions. No, this is not the action what have been taken. I want this issue be to solved immediately. So let us try to discuss on these problems. Can anybody come up with any suggestions out here? Then the Municipal Corporation Commissioner answers regarding this one. Madam, there's one solution. For the increase of the vehicles in Delhi, what we can do is we can do odd and even policy. In odd days, odd number of vehicles. In even days, even number of vehicles. By this, what happens? The pollution what has been hiked out, it can be come down. By this, the pollution level also will be increasing, and we can alternative of that we can promote the public transportation. Since what happens, it can be balanced out here both, and there won't be any issue, and we can try to promote all the alternative vehicles other than fuel, like ethanol, biodiesel vehicles, and also electric vehicles. We can give them subsidy and try to promote it. By this also the pollution will be reduced. This is a good idea, right? Then Seetha decides that okay, fine, so let's work on this policy first. So this is the first this one. So we will try to implement this one in everywhere and make sure that this policy is implemented properly, that there shouldn't be any flaws in this one. And next, so let us move ahead for this stubble burning. So how can this be solved? Then Seetha asks suggestions with everyone. Later, Environmental Minister says, Madam, this is one of the major issues. We have been trying to speaking with the other states also, but they are not listening it up. Since the farmers are not very well educated, since the farmers are very poor, so we need some solution for this one, so that the farmers are also not being affected by this one. They are not facing burden, and even government should also be benefiting it. Sanjay, can you give me any suggestion on this one? Well, madam, I have an idea on this one. Actually, one idea is we can open a biogas plant, biogas treatment plant, so that what happens over there is what the stubbles are being over there, so the farmers can cut the stubble and they can give it over here to the treatment plant. By this, what we can do is we can reproduce, we can create a renewable energy, we can produce biogas and ethanol. So by this, what happens, that same can be used as an alternative for fuel. So by this, even the farmers are also being benefited, and also there's one of the major source income it will be for the government also. In this way, it can be balanced. And on the other side, we see the environmental minister objects on this one. Environmental minister says, Madam, there's a very huge budget costing. But if we implement this project, we'll have to spend lots and lots. This is a very expensive technology, and we don't know how far it would be successful. Well, Minister sir, if we have to gain something, means we have to invest it. Then only we can get the returns, right? So this is also one investment. Let us take it as a challenge. We will try to do it. Let us implement it. By this, we can gain something, right? By this, the pollution will also be reducing, and also even the benefit of the farmers, and same way it is generating revenue for the government also. Think how much we import oil from the foreign countries, from the Gulf nations and everywhere. By this, the burden of the budget what we are getting crores together, billions of dollars, this can also be reduced, right? I know it cannot happen in an overnight, but this can be a first step towards it, right? And you do not worry about the budget. So I'm there out here, so I will look after it. I will sanction the budget. You need not worry on that one. Fine, madam. If you are taking the head of this step, then we are ready to support you on this one. Well, next issue. What about the crackers? How can this be solved? That is one of the major problems. Here we have to convince the public, and we have to take care of the interest of the vendors who have been manufacturing these crackers and sellers. So this industry has to be focused. Anybody out here can give me suggestions on this one? Does anyone have an answer for this one? And we can see the transportation and the environmental minister and his members, they come up with a plan. They said, man, this can be avoided. What we can do is we can ban the firecrackers. But thing is, there will be a backlash of them. How can we compensate for them? There's another question out here. Okay, fine. Then what we can do is we can ban the crackers, but instead of them we can give subsidy from the government. If they are willing to come out from this industry and start over a new business or do something new, so government will be providing support, financial support, training, whatever they require from this one. By this, what happens, eventually the pollution will also be coming down, and this will be also benefiting for them, and there won't be decline also, and they will be benefiting in the other manner. So this is a one kind where we can compensate. By this, what happens, even the pollution level also, which will be gradually decreasing up, and we can win the confidence of the people also. This is a good idea. And even the lot of environmentalists, other people who are against us will also be coming towards us, and they will be supporting this cause. Make sure that this shouldn't have a backlash on this one, and they should be a supportive on this policy. Yes, and please make sure that all these policies are implemented in the ground level. They shouldn't be all in the papers. That is one main thing which I needed. Sanjay, you are responsible for this one. You should be looking after. Yes, madam, we will look into after this one. And Sanjay, I want one more thing. Have a press conference and try to create awareness among the people. Sure, madam, I have already been arranging that and have already called the press conference. So after this meeting, we'll definitely have a conference on this one. Yes. And next issue, what is the next issue majorly contributing for this pollution causes? Well, madam, other one major causes the factories which have been set up besides Delhi and the NCR region. So around it, these factories, they are not following the environmental guidelines which have been mentioned according to the government. They have been violating simultaneously. By this, the air pollution is also being mixed up over here. The harmful gases and smoke which are being produced in these factories. Then why haven't the action been taken about this one? Why have they been left out? Then the environmental minister and the Central Pollution Control Board chief answers, madam, we have been issuing notices for them. We have been told also, if you try to shut down those factories also, they go to the courts, they use the political influences. By this, they try to come up with other alternatives, and unfortunately we have to open it. So this is one of the major drawbacks where we are facing it. Okay, fine, I understand the problems, Seetha says, and Seetha gives a suggestion. From now on, shut down every factories whichever is contributing more for the pollution, who are not following any kind of environmental guidelines, who are violating the norms. Don't have pity, mercy in that. Enough of giving of notices. They are not responding to the notices. Direct action. Go shut down. If any political pressure, anything comes, leave it to me. I will hand it. Seetha gives a strict warning on this one. So this, what happens, we will clear out all these factories which have been producing pollution. They have to follow strict norms. If they are violating the norms, then the punishment is guaranteed, because we are not going to tolerate or compromise anywhere on this matter. If we are being compromised by this one, this will affect our future. Then future, what the air we are going to breathe is full of chemical poison. Then we are not left out. We have to save for our future, right? So this initiative is very much needed. And if these strategies are going to work out, then definitely we'll have to think over in a national level of implementing these policies, right? So let us, Sanjay and the environmental minister, so all of you, I'm hoping you would be cooperating with me on this one. So please prepare a policy on national air pollution prevention. So any kind of pollution it can be, so this has to be addressed and resolved immediately. So such a kind of a policy we have to be framed out. If the strategies are being worked out very well, so this will be improvised and implemented all over the nation. So by this, what happens, this will be gaining a lot more confidence, and we would be contributing for the nature and also for the people better life for their tomorrow. This one the thing, right? And other side, the secretary comes out and informs that, madam, the journalists have been gathered, they have been waiting for you on the press conference. The secretary informs, and they move ahead for the press conference. Later, all the journalists are being gathered over there, and they start the questions. Madam, so you had a meeting with all these departments. So what are your decisions? What have been results of this meeting. The questions are being thrown towards Seetha. Then Seetha answers. So we had a meeting with all the department officials, concerned ministries and the officials. So we have come to a conclusion. These are few of the highlights of this one meeting. So first highlight is we are banning all the crackers and all the polluting which have been causing pollution for the Delhi. So we are banning right now. And for that, alternatively, for who are producing and manufacturing the crackers, so we are compensating them. So whichever business, whichever industry they want to go, so we are going to give them training and also financial support from the governments and also from the banks. So by this, what happens? They are being supported. They are not left over. And other one is we are going to start a biogas treatment plant near the stubble burning where the farmers are located. So by this, what happens? Whatever the stubble are being left out by the farmers, so that stubble can be cut it out and can be produced to the biogas plant. So by this, what happens? It can be started for the renewable energy. It can be used for the alternative of fuel, and we are also giving a lot more incentives and encouragement for alternative fuel and also electric vehicles. So by this, what happens? We have a target by within upcoming 5 years. We have a plan to completely be eco-friendly and we are trying to move from the petroleum and oil industry towards the renewable energy side. So there's a big push what we are going to do from the government side, and we are also contribute for this. Certain allocation of budget will be there, that will be later on announced by the finance minister. And other one announcement is from now on, Delhi will be implemented with the odd and even policies. So by the odd and even policies, what happens? The vehicles, so odd number vehicles will go in the alternative days and the even number vehicles will be going in the other alternative days. So by this, what happens? The pollution level, air quality, what is there, it will be increasing, and there will be a slight decrease in the pollution. So these are the one of the major contributions. Madam, can we know on the journalist questions, madam, will all these policies will be implemented practically, or will it be resting on the papers? See, I do believe in implementing the policies in actual. So as a first step of this one, so we have already set up a committee to examine the availabilities and the possibilities of the project setting up the biogas plant in the areas where the farmers are producing the crops and their stubble burning, so that we can start working on that one. And that committee will give us a report. Based on it, we'll be starting a project. And we have also spoken with the finance ministry. So finance ministry will be allocating the budget for this one also very soon. That will be getting updates. Madam, another question we have. Suddenly a journalist rises up, another question, and he asks, madam, you are telling that you would be stopping the pollution, everything, it is okay, but on the other side itself, your vehicles itself are polluting. You come up with a convoy having a huge traffic, there's a huge blockade for this one, zero traffic. So what is your answer? I already expected this one. Seetha answers, I know this would be a question. So for this, as a first move, I won't be using any kind of convoy vehicles. I would be traveling, there's a first step from my side. I would be traveling in the public transportation itself from now on. I won't be using any kind of a convoy vehicles or any kind of a government vehicles for traveling. Any kind of a cars won't be there. I would be using a public transportation. With me, only 2 guards would be there. That's it. There won't be a huge blockade. I do not want to create a huge lot of a mess. I don't want to have a traffic jam. I don't want people to be causing trouble because of me. So this is my agenda. I hope everyone is clear and well said about it. Hope everyone will be satisfied by this, right? And I would require all of your support for this one. Not only this can be done with all the members' support, even from the public and from the journalists with you people, right? Thank you. The meeting has been over. After this, Seetha or everyone goes to the respective offices, and this is the end of the story. So I hope this was kind of interesting for you all. If you like this video, then kindly subscribe, share, like and comment. If you do not like it, please dislike it. Thank you very much. For further more updates, please stay tuned.